Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Reviews at Home. Today, as most days, I'm joined by the boys.
The boys! One day you won't have us, and then you realize how much we actually mean.
Yeah.
Let's go around the table.
So, sorry. So, I'm Annie.
I'm Arman.
I'm Hasan.
We're Review at Home. And today, at home, we'll be reviewing the first half, thematically, of My Hero Academia.
Thematically? Wait, what episode are we going up to? Is it just up to where I watched or doing like a little before?
Oh, no, a little bit before. There's...
Okay, cool.
Wait.
All for one fight?
Yeah.
I think it's about the 50 episode mark.
Show
Let me
on
just
camera.
check that real quick.
I want to get the branding on camera. Alright, good. They're not paying me.
Use a different cup.
All right. Yeah, so up
It's right
until...
Oh wait,
I'll check the episode list
Before we start, we're visual now.
Oh my god.
Visual gags.
What happened to the
I've
other episodes?
never made this joke before. I'm sorry, I needed to do that.
Right. So, we're talking to...
So,
My Hero
about
Academia.
episode 50. So that's exactly the halfway point.
Because right now I think they're on season 5, right?
Season 5. So total episode 99. So this is episode... We're going up from 1 to 50, pretty much.
Yeah. So let's give a quick rundown of the plot and the world. So My Hero Academia is set in a sort of Earth type thing where humans have evolved, I guess, into
They
having...
like one baby in China was born and they were like, oh shit, he's got powers.
and then
Everybody started getting powers.
yeah. So I think it's
Quirks, I
it's
should say. They
rough-
call them quirks.
yeah, roughly 80% of the population, they said, or something.
Yeah,
along those
something like
lines.
that. The population gets more and more quirkier as the generations go.
It's got to be a different adjective for that.
They really should be.
Yeah, and the main character, Midoriya, or Deku, is born without a quirk, and...
He also desperately wants to be a hero. He wants to be like the big hero in the world time. The number one hero, All Might, the American hero.
He wants
Yeah.
to be the Hokage.
He really just wants to be Hokage.
Yeah, and then...
It's a standard shonen. The whole thing is like there's one big man's and they're like, oh, I want to be that big man's.
I don't know about standard.
Is it standard?
It's... Well,
I
okay.
get the ones I'm thinking of are like Dragon. I'm thinking the 2%, like Dragon
Alright,
Ball,
let's-
Naruto.
Let's finish the plot first.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, so he inherits the power of his hero, All
Eats
Might.
hair.
Nom 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 nom.
Eats a hair.
Itadakimasu. And it's just the story of how his journey to becoming the greatest hero of all time. I think is what he
And the
says during
symbol
intro.
of peace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He sort of he says it at the start of episode, right? Like,
Yeah.
this is how I became the greatest hero of all time.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because everything's in retrospect.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So that's roughly the plot. Some stuff happens. He goes to school.
They go to hero.
He
They
goes
go to
to
hero
school.
high school basically.
If you like Sky High, you like this. you like this anime.
Right, yeah.
That's actually how I got into this anime. It was on my Netflix. I get recommended because I kept watching Sky High on repeat for 2 years straight. And then they were like, you know what? Maybe you would like My Hero Academia. And I was like, is it like animated Sky High? And they were like,
Sure.
Netflix himself came to me and was like, yeah,
Have you seen Zoom, the movie?
yes,
With Tim Allen?
yes.
What?
I have not
It's
seen
the
this
same
movie.
thing pretty much as Sky High,
Yeah.
but kind of worse.
Much worse.
Isn't that the one where he can't slow down and the bus is going to explode?
No,
No,
that's
no,
Speed.
that's
Oh.
Keanu Reeves. This one, he has, fast powers?
He's
the
super.
Flash, basically.
He's the Flash, basically. But he can also do the thing he like with individual parts. Because I remember specifically there's a part in the show where he the
mixes
movie
the coffee, yeah.
where he does
something like
that.
Yeah. Anyway. So let's go through arc by arc of My Hero Academia. So it starts off with the sort of introduction arc. We're introduced to the character, well, not the characters, but the
Two
the world.
characters.
We're introduced to
All
Deku
Might.
and Bakugo and All Might.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And roughly the situation as it stands with the heroes being government workers, basically.
They're very commercialized.
Mm.
They sort of put on a show. The more popular you are, the more you get paid. Sort of like with One Punch Man.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah.
very much so. And we also find out that All Might, who is like the number one hero of the era, because of him, criminal rates have gone down, all this stuff, and there's a lot of things pinned on him being the symbol of peace.
But he's like gravely injured and can only do like his powers now like 3 hours in a day.
yeah,
And the other hours of the day he looks like a sulking dude.
it looks pretty funny. He's like a really skinny guy.
Wow.
Who bleeds out his mouth. Yeah, and then so the reason he comes into this town, I don't know where this is, Japan somewhere, is because he's looking for a successor to his power, because he is a very unique power that's passed down from generation to generation, and he's looking for the next successor to it.
Yeah, and so he's the seventh, I think. And so the more people it's like stockpile. So what is it? The more people that have inherited, the stronger you become, or the stronger the power makes you. And it's called One for All, which is sort of links to because the main antagonist is called All for One, which does get confusing when both of them are on the screen at the same time.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I had to like double check. I think that the logic behind it when Armand just said One for All.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One for all for one. Yep.
All right. So yeah, what do you think about the intro? So the intro would be roughly from the beginning to.
It's the first training arc where like
Yeah.
Deku's like, okay, I gotta like train and then be good.
Yeah,
So he can go because his goal at the end of that arc is to go into the like entrance exams for UA, which stands for something. I don't know what it stands for. It's a high school. It's the top high school in the world
academy
for Ultra Academy.
Yeah.
It's the top high school in the world for heroes.
Ultra.
For becoming a hero.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would call that. I don't know if I would call that its own arc. I think the whole arc is like that until the end of the entrance exams.
Yeah.
The entrance exam is like the first sort of like you see what people are up to kind of thing.
Yeah, when
kinda
the first training, I meant like all the way up until he gets in. He's training.
The baseball scene, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the thing with the main character Deku is, what's kind of interesting, is that because he was not born with his power, he can't control it. He's also like
He also didn't train long enough.
Yeah.
Originally, because he
didn't have
trained
enough time,
in like 6 months, something like
those
that,
lines.
and that's not enough time for him to train to get this like full power under control. So he ends up having his quirk being that like he can use the incredible power with him, but it like damages his body.
It breaks his arm and stuff.
He breaks
Like,
bones
yeah.
to fight.
Destroys his arm.
He is also, just before getting this power, is like a scrawny, short
kind of little
kid.
lad.
Yeah.
You get bulked up though, big man.
Slightly.
He bulks
Yeah.
up quite a. He's like
He's got a
toned.
6-pack.
I
Takes off his shirt and he's just like.
I know. For some reason, I expected him to grow bigger. He's still like tiny.
To be fair, he's like what, 14, 15? He can still hit his growth spurt.
Fair enough. I'm still waiting as well. Yeah. So, what do you guys think of that arc? I kind of thought it was cool because it wasn't what I expected going into an anime about superpowers.
Yeah.
I kind of expected the classic, there's a guy who has powers, he has to train hard, but he will beat whatever. But it was kind of flipped on its head.
Mm-hmm. They really like. They make him pretty much Superman, but Superman just couldn't use his powers all the time.
Yeah, or at great cost to himself.
Or yeah, great cost to himself. And I think the thing with me with the first arc, it felt really, really similar to the first arc of Demon Slayer.
Oh, I was gonna say Naruto, because he fails his like the jutsu exam. And he's like, man, I suck.
Yeah.
And then he like goes and steals things. He gets power, and then he succeeds, sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But at the cost of his
I think
teacher.
The
getting
big
hurt.
thing with me comparing it with
He gets hurt, doesn't
Demon
he?
Slayer.
It's shuriken in his bag.
Oh yeah, that's
That's Iruka.
Yeah.
Yeah, Eric gets hurt, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this is Naruto gets the shuriken. No. I think that the pacing wise, it felt like really similar to Demon Slayer for me, at least. Because the Demon Slayer goes like the first couple episodes, it's like kind of a slow start. Because you have the inciting incident of like.
Oh, is this him getting the sword arc? In
the
Demon
Demon
Slayer?
Slayer, it has a slow start, but then the moment it goes to training, it goes at 90. That's not,
Yeah.
that's not fast. That's not fast. 200 miles an hour.
90 miles an hour is fast.
The units there would have made a very big difference.
90 kilometers is not enough. It's still kind of fast.
Yeah, that's really fast.
90 is like 150, something like that.
Oh, I guess that is kind of fast.
You should have said 90 kilometers per second.
Per second squared.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Right. What were we talking?
You were comparing it to Demon Slayer.
Yeah. I just wanted to make that.
Oh, okay.
I finished that point.
Demon Slayer did come out afterwards, just to like.
They're both great shows.
They're both. I think. Definitely, this is the most Western shonen I've seen. I think the closest one to me before this would have been like, Bleach, maybe, where we sort of have like you notice a lot with Japanese media is the emphasis on the collective, right? Naruto, you fight in threes. Demon Slayer, you fight in threes. One Piece, you fight in a group. And in this form, you're sort of together, but it's the same as like a classroom environment where you're a class, but you're the only one that's going to pass and you're the only one that's going to fail. It's not like the performance of the class helps you get better or helps you get worse. So that was a fun aspect to see. And like, we'll talk about him later, but Bakugo is the pinnacle of individualism. And there's
being a little bitch.
for having, for I think the entrance exam starts a theme that I kind of like because I don't have the best memory. Is they've reintroduced the characters and what they can do quite often.
Yeah.
Every
Which
few
for this
arcs.
show, because everyone has like a quirk, and the quirks are like super varied.
Yeah.
It can vary from being super strong, like Midoriya and All Might, to like what's a really obscure one?
The guy who
Best
shoots tape from
genius?
his elbows.
Oh, Seiko.
Yeah, shoots tape from his elbows. That's a weird quirk. I don't know how. What's the lady who came up with the show called named?
She thinks she's just an anime. Oh, Hirosho. I can't remember. I can't pronounce it. I don't want to mess it up.
The lady who made this who made the story.
Yeah.
She's got an insane like imagination with tape coming out of someone's elbows.
Like, now that we're talking about UA, I want to just take a quick tangent because the next one, ooh, this is good context for the next arc, is there's a system in UA, so it's a school, and there's Hero Course A, Hero Course B, and then there's General Studies, and then there's the Engineers, so the support systems.
And then a business class.
There's a
And then
business
the,
class.
some
oh, is there a
reason.
business class?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there is.
They were doing surveys during the festival.
They do like one. They mention it first, like I think near the start of the UA parts, and then they like bring it up once more during the tournament arc,
Oh, okay.
and then they never talk about it again.
Fair enough.
Which to me,
Fair enough.
Fine.
And
Good
so, yeah, the way it's
they do
split
it for like
is,
one joke, and I like that.
Yeah, everyone has powers. Hero Course A is the best. Hero Course B is the second best. General Ed is people that aren't good enough to be heroes. Like, their powers aren't like useful enough to be heroes. And then the support system is people who like to build like
Costumes and stuff.
costumes and objects that can help heroes use their powers better. And there's the competition between Hero Course A and B is played out a lot in a lot of these arcs. And I don't feel like the way they decided to fill those classes is fair. There's a lot of people in Hero Course B that should have been in Hero Course A.
Yeah, I like look at it and I'm like, wait, why does Great Boy in Hero Course A? He's kind of he's shitty. He's got some good moments.
That final exam.
But like, how did he make it past the entrance exam? How does his power help him do that?
I think he clogged up the robots or something with his grape balls.
I understand. I think pretty much everyone else who's in Class of 1A except for the Great Boy, how
Yeah.
he made it into past the entrance
Yeah.
exams.
I mean, his balls are. His hair balls are quite sticky, right? So you can stick the robots. They're stuck.
There's also Invisible Girl. She doesn't have super strength. She's just invisible. How does she break any robots?
I think we
The robots
mentioned
didn't
this
see
before.
her.
I think we mentioned this beforehand. How she just took pictures of like broken robots and like, yeah, that was me.
Took selfies. Took a picture, regular picture.
You just take a picture of it and you're like, oh, that's me. And it's like, wait, where are you? And it's like, oh shit, quickly photoshops like a random shirt into there.
Yeah, I think because there's
I was just naked in that one.
no, because that's what her costume is. She doesn't have a
Yeah.
costume in some of the scenes.
She has gloves and shoes, and that's her costume.
in the recent arc, her costume because they're doing like a sneak attack. She doesn't wear anything.
Yeah.
She did that during the first, what do you call it, training session as well, right?
She just didn't wear anything.
The one they're doing in
Yeah,
Paris.
Yeah. So there's
Your superpower. You just strip. That's it. That's your superpower.
because
Not the worst one.
we'll definitely talk about I think Class B and Sports Festival
Oh, it's not
arc.
recording.
Oh, whatever.
All right, where were we?
Oh, oops.
Oh yes, we just finished up I was talking about Class B, so I guess it's a good time to transition into the Sports Festival, which is the first tournament arc. And I will say, there's not a lot of tournament arcs that I like more than this. This had moments that was close to Rock Lee taking off his weights.
Good times.
I really like the pacing in this tournament arc. I think that my issue with a lot of tournament arcs, and when I say a lot of tournament arcs, I really just mean Naruto, because that's like, I don't think I've watched nearly as much anime as you have to say this kind of statement, but Naruto's like tournament arcs I felt were very slowly paced, which might be kind of the fact that like the time it was released they had to like do it a certain way, and so now they can have a more expedited process.
Also, Naruto only has one tournament arc. Because Naruto and Sasuke get too strong after that to keep having tournament arcs.
True, the
They
training
they
exam.
actually do have another tournament arc without Naruto. They do the
this
second
the
tutor.
We're not counting Boruto.
No, this is in Naruto. They have a tuning exam. The Sand hosts the tuning exam.
Oh,
There's an attempt on Gaara's life.
I remember this.
Oh, is that the
I
beginning
remember
of
this.
Shippuden? No, it's not.
I remember this. They find the body in like the desert somewhere of the actual Sound people, and then is that Orochimaru?
No, wait. That I think you're thinking of
Oh, it's the first one.
some other time. But it's the Jinchuriki for the butterfly turns up. and it's
Oh.
like I need to kill Gaara or something
Oh.
along those lines.
Seems
So
like
there's
it's a
multiple.
Two.
Two.
You got
I can only remember the first one, the first tuning exam from the first series.
Sorry, isn't there another Chunin exam where Naruto gets disqualified for using Sage Mode?
Oh yeah.
He's like super
Yes.
powerful.
Oh, it
Everyone
stopped
else is super
recording.
Give me a yeah, nice. You need a good visual too. All right. So, where were we?
Yes.
The
Technical
Piss
difficulties.
convention.
The Piss Festival.
Yes.
Actually, we're not too off by saying festival. We're at the tournament arc. Tournament festival, same thing. Well,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
was a festival in the show. It was a whole event.
They called it a sports festival, but they didn't do any sports.
Well,
They
they,
just
did.
fought.
They did racing. They did racing.
Oh, they did.
There was 2 types of races
Well,
before.
they were all tests, to be fair.
It was an obstacle course, and then it was
The obstacle course is very sport festival-y.
Obstacle course with like
I don't know.
robots, killer robots.
as a person who did track in high school, I can confirm there was no obstacle courses in track and field.
Yeah, because a
What
sports
is
festi-
hurdles
a,
then,
a
huh?
sports
Hurdles
festival.
I did hurdles.
Okay.
Sports festival where the whole class competes and not just the track team. So you need a little bit more beginner level stuff.
Like killer robots in a minefield.
They got they have superpowers.
Beginner level stuff, guys.
They have superpowers. You got to balance it out somehow.
How's invisibility gonna help with robots in a minefield, my guy?
They can't
No,
see
they
you.
can't
Once you get the robots,
Look, a guy. One of them is a walking mine, and the other one can freeze the whole map.
You
so-
know what? I take back what I said.
Can anyone fly on their team?
No,
No, Bakugo can kind of fly.
but yeah. Well,
Yeah.
yeah. 'Cause
Deku can like jump big.
he couldn't that at that time.
Not at the
He
time.
had to like
Without
hit
breaking his legs.
He had to blow himself up to fly across the
Yeah.
map. Yeah, what are your thoughts on that? You said it
To
was
fly across the map.
I said it was. I don't know if this got cut off, but I think this was by far one of the best tournament arcs in recent memory. Like it was up there with. It had a lot of moments to me that were up there with the Rock Lee dropping his weights in the Gaara fight. I think the Midoriya or the Deku Todoroki fight was insane.
facts.
I
That was
think
a
that like
great
even like
fight.
the quote unquote B cut the more like B character fights were also really entertaining too. They fleshed out a lot of like character they had a lot of character moments in those fights. And I thought it was really cool. Like the Kaminari is the electric guy, right?
Yeah,
Kaminari, and who did he fight against?
the not wine,
The Vine.
not the drink.
The Vine girl.
Sorry, I'm brown.
I
can't say
thought that was a
letter
cute
double.
fight because he was like, damn, I should ask her out. Hey, you want to go out? And immediately gets ass whooped. Cute shit.
Fair enough.
I like that.
There's also the what's the guy who runs fast? What's his hero name?
Which guy who runs fast?
Ida.
Oh, Lita. The Lita fight was so
Lita.
funny.
Because she just used him as an ad to like display her products.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give a controversial take. Hatsume, a really good character.
I like her.
Apparently,
though-
according to Twitter, no.
Because she's used basically as Q, right, from the James Bond movies. She's just like, here,
Yeah.
have this tech.
Q, but more quirky.
Q but quirky. Quirky. That's what the Q
So
stands
Q?
describing things.
The real Q.
Oh my god. But I think there were some moments where like you could just see like the Bakugo Uraraka fight. Basically, this whole thing was putting a showcase on Midoriya, Bakugo, and Todoroki, while also fleshing out other characters. But their individual fights that didn't have any of the other three were really good. Midoriya and Shiho being the least of the three, but like when Todoroki walked into the fight against the tape guy and like schooled him in a minute,
Yeah.
that was pretty cool. The Bakugo Uraraka fight.
That was actually
pretty
that was a
cool.
really entertaining fight. Like
Yeah.
I didn't expect Uraraka to hold herself as much as she did.
Yeah.
But she
into
really,
it,
like-
we all knew she was gonna lose.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But they, the writers did a really good job of that one. Like just like giving her like a little bit more power than you might have expected from her,
And kind of big brain.
and being kind of big brain because
Yeah.
like she was like she doesn't play off as like a super big brain or super powerful character before that moment, and then like it flips the script on that, and I thought that was a good moment.
Yeah, I'm glad they still let her lose though. It would have
Yeah.
been, it would have been a massive cop out.
It would have been a
She
super
won.
cup.
What about you guys think about Deku losing? He lost in semis, right?
I think it makes sense that he
Understandable.
lost.
Understandable.
Yeah. It's
He
what he
doesn't-
needed to progress.
He doesn't have because he lost against Todoroki.
Yeah.
He lost
he
against
lost in
Todoroki.
that fight.
Because like he's not as trained as Todoroki. It doesn't make sense for him to win. He just
Yeah.
has a power that can injure himself.
Also, more than that, because he got Todoroki to use his fire powers, he definitely got absolutely schooled. If he didn't, he would have.
No,
been
but
okay.
that was the defense.
You could
is
consider
the-
that as his own.
That's
win,
his own
actually.
victory.
Fair enough.
Also, I liked it because when was the last time a shonen protagonist didn't win?
Naruto?
I was gonna say.
Because he got disqualified for being stronger than the competition.
He also doesn't.
He also
win
does it in the first trainings.
They don't finish it
Shikamaru is the only one who actually wins.
because he does
Yeah.
it separately, doesn't it?
No, he does.
No, he
from
that one.
he becomes promoted.
Oh,
He gets
okay.
promoted. to
He's the
Chunin.
first one of them to become tuning.
Sorry, I didn't become Chunin. I was too busy being a god.
Literally, he comes back at the end after becoming half god.
He's still a Genin by the end of
Shippuden,
Shippuden.
and then they're like, "Oh, you haven't done your Chunin exams."
And then he fails because he's too
I
good.
feel like at that point they just gotta be like,
He becomes Hokage
Chunin.
as well. Before he becomes Chunin.
well, we don't know that for sure.
I think
Oh,
I think
fair
he probably passed in between the times.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
Probably
pretty sure he
became a
became at least Jonin by then.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is he becomes basically Sanin before he becomes Chunin.
Yeah.
That's
so
irrelevant.
this is the last arc in a while, unless this current arc that we're not going to talk about goes south, where an arc isn't interrupted by a set of villains, because from now on every arc that we see is gonna be either tied to one of the main antagonist forces. So the next one I think is the rescue mission
Mhm.
arc.
We skipped over a huge battle.
Which one?
The
Yeah, where
Yeah.
the villain
the villains first show up.
Yeah,
Is that not the rescue one? Or am I
That's
forgetting?
not the
No,
rescue because
so-
it goes the exams, entrance exams, and then it's like the
The fight.
rescue.
Yeah.
Not the rescue.
Not
The,
the
the fight.
it's the first
The
fight.
villains showing up.
The League of Villains show up.
Mm-hmm.
They turn
And
up
then
at
it's
the-
tournament.
They go to a separate place for training. Like I don't know if it's outside the school, but
It's outside the school.
and they like portal in. And
Is that not the rescue?
No,
No.
because rescue happens at the camp.
Yeah, this
No,
one.
no. Like the one with the boat, with Black
Ye-
Hole.
Yeah.
That's when they portal in.
Port what?
That's what they portal in. The
Yeah,
camp
yeah.
is the Pussycats arc.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Pussycats one is where they take Bakugo.
No.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I watched
Yeah,
it
it is.
yesterday.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
It is. There's a fight here. So this is the first time we see the like our heroes fighting.
Is this the All Might
Properly.
Nomo arc?
Oh,
Fight?
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the rescue thing. With
What
Black
rescue?
Hole. They
What's
get
this rescue?
What's this rescue
It's-
about?
the training exercise is rescuing people. That's why there's different
Okay, that's what
environments.
You see, that could get really confusing because then one of the next arcs, the one right after the Pussycat one that we just mentioned, is rescuing Bakugo.
Oh, sorry. I meant the rescue exercise arc. That's why I said the first time the heroes
That
attack.
happens before the sports festival anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sorry. We forgot that in our
Yeah.
notes.
To circle back to that, we got the entrance exam. Then we have
A training
the
segment
training segment
Yeah.
with the baseball.
with the baseball. I was gonna skip over that. I was gonna go entrance exam.
Yeah.
So that's the big
Mm-hmm.
apex of the plot line.
Yeah.
And then you have the the Nomu All Might first League of Villains showing up part. And then you have the tournament arc. And then you have then it's the Pussycats, right?
No, then it's
No, something in
Stain.
between.
Stain.
Stain.
The
Stain
internship
arc.
stuff.
Internships.
Mm.
To be fair, I don't think there's that much to say. I don't have that much to say about that one that we skipped.
It's the first time we get to
rescue?
see.
Oh no! It's the power ceiling for the universe.
Yeah, it's also the first time we get to see Eraserhead in combat.
Oh my god! Should I
And we should preface all of this by saying me and Annie love Eraserhead.
He's cool, but he's
He's-
not that cool. He wears goggles that impair his vision, and his powers rely on sight. Surely he should be wearing like binoculars.
That doesn't impair his vision.
He's got bands in the middle. It's like trying to like look at someone like this.
It like
Well,
helps his vision because he's trying to he's trying to keep his eyes moisturized.
Basically, yeah.
What?
And
'Cause
also,
the thing is- the thing is
less
he-
you can see of him, the more tactical he can be.
Yeah.
How? Walk
So-
me through this. Walk me.
So let's say you can. It's hard to see his eyes, right? It's hard to see what he's looking at or whether his eyes are open.
Yeah, I don't know whether he's just stopped my quirk or your quirk. Or
Try
both.
use your quirk. Can you use it? He hasn't stopped it.
I can't use it.
No,
He
but
stopped
like,
it.
in a battle, well, it's like quick. You wouldn't. You know,
'Cause-
let's say you're quick.
Because
as-
the Razorhead's thing is that he can disable someone's quirk as long as he's looking at them. But if he blinks, they're back on.
Hmm.
So having that in those goggles, they can't see where he's looking, makes it really that's what he does in that fight.
Yeah.
And I think that's really cool.
Yeah, and he has these like whoosh, whoosh, I don't know how to
Bandage.
explain
He's
it.
got these whoosh whoosh. Yeah, he's got like bandage rope
Just
thingies.
think of it's sort of like the chains from God of War, but less violent.
It's more like the bandages from like Lee and Guy in Naruto. You know how he wraps it around for like Lotus.
but
and stuff?
offensively or
Mhm.
more
on the
versatility.
offense.
It's
Yeah.
kind of like Harrison Ford.
That's
yeah,
true. That's true.
It's Indiana Jones. Either
Yeah.
way, the big takeaway from this is that Aizawa is hot.
Yeah. Also,
He's hot.
more thematically, it's the first time I think we see there being a fault in the hero's perfect society type thing, because it's the first time we see a group of villains who aren't like petty criminals, and two, it's the first time we see them attack what was, I think, built up to be the best high school for heroes, where you wouldn't expect to be in danger there.
Yeah,
right?
the climax was quite high.
Yeah, the thematic concept, like elements of the show, end up being really like surprisingly complex for what I thought was going to be a pretty straightforward shonen.
You see that in fruition with the Stain arc and a little bit in the Overhaul arc.
I'm very surprised the Stain arc went where it went, because what happened in the Stain arc is that Stain is a villain who kills heroes that he thinks are facetious.
That's a
Because
big word, Hasan.
That's a big word. I shouldn't use that word.
I wonder what it means.
Are you
He
going
kills
for-
villains who he thinks are fake, who are like heroes who he thinks
They're-
are fake.
they're
They're doing
doing
it
it
for
for the
the
money.
for the image and the money,
Yeah.
as opposed for the true like value of being a hero.
Yeah.
That's why he ends up sparing like Deku, and he only wants to fight All Might because he thinks like those are some of the few people who are actually heroes.
And he saved someone, right? Right before he gets captured.
He saves Deku.
Deku, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And so that ends up like sparking a whole thing that kind of pushes more of the plot forward, where like him being like, oh, I want real heroes, that ends up being sort of an inciting incident for the next couple of arcs, or at least parts of the next couple of arcs, and where people start to like question like, okay, but are these heroes that are like protecting us, are they like, should we really be trusting them, or are they just doing it for the sake of like money and whatnot?
Yeah, and I think a few people in the League of Villains are followers of Stain. He sort of gets like a cult status, and so there's people that like fight for his devotion and sort of thing. But just before we skip on into that arc, the rescue exercise arc has introduces these things called nomus, which are like which end up being very like useful. So just for more context, All For One, the main antagonist force, is the older brother for the first person who got One For All, and his power is that he can absorb and redistribute quirks, but he can also absorb and keep them. So he has a large like suppository of just quirks inside of him, and he breeds chemically engineered just beings with powers. And those
I
are
guess
like
you
the
can call him a quirky communist.
quirky communist.
I mean, he redistributes the quirks.
he also seizes the.
I'm
means
sorry,
of
that was
production.
bad.
Means of quick cut.
Yeah, and so All
the
Might
means of procreation.
Quick conduction is what I'm trying to
quirk
I'm trying to
adduction.
put together quick and production.
But yeah, so
Quirk.
we see All Might go use basically all of his power, or very close to all of his power, in the Nomu fight, and that sort of puts the upper limit on what the strongest a person can be right now.
Because he also like gets significantly weakened after that fight.
Yeah, and what else comes out of that arc? You see your favorite girl,
My
Sui.
Second favorite girl.
Oh,
Okay.
Asui, Froppy.
Yeah.
She's pretty great. I
She's
like
a
her.
frog.
She's
She's
fun.
a frog. Literally, the way
She's a
they,
really fun character.
the way they introduce her is
All right. Sorry about the even more technical
Yeah,
difficulties.
we're struggling.
We're going
A little
through
bit.
it. Yeah.
a little bit. You make
This
it
is
work.
what happens when you
Got
start.
myself a
channel.
drink though.
Whoa, where did that come from?
Oh my god. yeah. Okay, we were fangirling over Froppy.
She's a frog, and
I think one of the points we were saying as we got cut off was we both like the way they introduced her.
yeah,
Where it's like, what's it? Asui,
Asui.
whatever the hell her name is. Her quirk, pretty much just a frog.
she can do whatever a frog does.
You think of what a frog can do? She can do that.
I feel like she definitely got like a weird. It's kind of weird how her like character model is, because you have characters like Killer Whale, which
Yeah.
is like he's just
just
a
a
whale,
whale.
and Froppy is still very like humanoid for some reason.
Yeah, she's not a frog, but she can do whatever a frog can do. Like she's got a long tongue.
I think if we're
That's
bringing
about
up
it.
appearances like that, what the hell's going on with Mina? Is that the
Yeah.
alien girl?
Oh yeah, the purple one with the horns, right?
What's up with her? Why
Oh,
is
but her
she
skin is
purpley with
acidic.
horns?
No, she can shoot out acid, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
what's that got to do with like her being purple, right?
Yeah, I thought her quirk was just like, oh yeah, she's got horns.
That's
And it's
another.
purple and has completely black eyes.
Yeah.
She's the devil reincarnated.
Also, Dark Shadow. No, not
Tokuya.
Toko.
Yeah,
The
Tokuya.
guy who has
Oh
Dark
yeah,
Shadow.
the bird bitch.
He's a bird.
Damn.
I'm sorry, I just refer to people as bitch. There's no offense
It's
being
gender.
put here.
It's gender neutral term.
Gender neutral.
Just bitch.
Oh, but the question is, why is he a bird? Like
'Cause,
his
Yeah.
powers, he has a shadow. That's doesn't have. You don't have to be a bird to have a shadow.
Maybe his parents were birds.
I mean, we get like one glimpse of an explanation with the principal, who's a hamster. What is he?
He's a science experiment though. Like he's basically rocking.
Yeah,
the food,
exactly.
right?
We get a little explanation where he was like, he was like an animal who got a quirk, and then they did experiments on him.
Yeah.
We get no similar explanation for anybody else, so I think we have to assume that it's about the same.
The animal ones are to me the most varied. I like Asui. I like Orca. I don't like the tail guy.
Tail guy's boring.
He's fine, but it's just like
that's
they
literally
very
his thing, though.
Yeah, they make him like he's just a dude.
Yeah.
Because
I
when they're
mean,
doing the room tours thing, which I thought was
Yeah.
an adorable little addition, he's just like, yeah, it's just a room, and they're like,
Yeah.
it is indeed
In-
just a room.
non-spoilers, by the way. Don't worry. The latest arc, he does some moves, and everyone watching is like, "Yeah, that's a very normal move."
Oh, is it the fight with the rotating guy?
Yeah. So that's he's just doing a normal move.
He's got a weird ass looking tail,
He does really thick.
super thick.
True. I don't know what animal has that.
But
kind
he's a
of
nice
tail.
dude. He's a good dude.
Yeah, it's pretty normal.
He's a very boys support boys dude.
Yeah. It's kind of weird. Sometimes he like holds his tail like that, like he's hugging someone.
Dude,
I don't know.
that's kind of busted.
Is that masturbation or is it?
Wow.
Is this masturbation, Annie? Is this what you think masturbation is?
I'm walking to Annie's room in the middle of the night. He's like, oh my god. Let me just tangent. Have you been to a doctor recently? Yes.
Are you
No.
being
Oh,
serious? What?
that'd be-
That was a bit.
No.
No,
I have-
it's a bit. It's a bit.
Oh, it's a bit.
Okay.
Dumb.
Okay. So.
Are we just gonna go like straight to the characters?
No, wait. We have a couple more things.
We
Right?
gotta
Okay.
finish the plot. up.
So, oh yeah, before we carry on to the next part, in the before the fight with Stain, we see that all the main characters get internships.
Most of
Mhm.
them.
Most of them do.
I think all of them do.
No, I think some of them don't.
No, Deku has Gran Torino. Uraraka has Gunhead. Ida
I thought it
has.
was great. I like Gunhead.
I
I'm
don't
pretty
get
sure
it.
that they all get internships. They just don't all get like the work studies.
I can't remember what it is, but
Maybe.
it somehow works out.
Mm.
Three of there's it Ida, Todoroki. Todoroki goes back with his dad.
Is it Ida or is it Lita?
I think it's double I.
I think it's double I as well.
Okay.
What's his not running name? What's his superhero name? Excalibur?
He takes his brother's
No,
name,
he-
right?
Yeah.
Engine.
Ingenium.
Ingenium, yeah.
There we go. Just call
Ingenium.
him
It's with a soft G.
Gi.
G. Engine. Right?
Ingenium. He says Ingenium or something like that.
Oh,
Is he?
I think so.
just call him Running Man.
It doesn't matter.
All right. Yeah.
He's the
that guy.
running man.
He has an engine on his feet.
His
On his
design,
calves, which is weird as shit.
I think it's cool, but I was so disturbed when I first saw it.
Yeah.
How do you sleep?
I'm still disturbed.
Because I sleep
I
on my
do.
back sometimes.
Yeah.
Just have the engines pointing out. And what if you have the dream where you're like falling in your sleep and he tries running and his bed catches on fire?
I like the fact that they don't shy away from the physics of like how his like body works. Because when there's a couple times like Uraraka like makes him go 0G and he's like engine time, but he goes like.
No, I think in the newest arc, he unlocks something from like his older brother, and it's like I was like, okay, I guess it makes sense, but I
No,
don't
he pulls out his engine
to do
or
maintenance.
the pipes, and they're supposed to grow back even stronger.
Yeah, it's something.
I
else,
haven't
man.
made it that far.
Yeah. A bit intense.
And I think that's farther than we were gonna go with this
Mhm.
discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll leave that out of it.
Yeah. So that internship was kind of cool though because Deku goes
with Gran Torino,
Gran Torino, who was
All Might's
All Might's
predecessor.
predecessor's teacher.
His power is cool.
He just
Oh,
flies
yeah, he
around.
just flies around.
He has jets on his feet.
I like the fact that they named him Gran Torino because it's one of those situations where like you name someone like something that's about them being old,
Yeah.
but they had that name from well beforehand. So he was like, yes, you know what? I'm gonna name myself in preparation of being really fucking old.
Is Gran Torino not a
It's
race?
also
No, Gran Turismo.
That's Gran Turismo, I think.
Gran
you're
Turismo.
thinking.
Oh.
But Gran
It's a
Turismo is a
game.
movie.
Gran Turismo is a movie about old dudes.
Oh.
Respect.
I thought it was like one of those JoJo moments where they have like Earth, Wind, and Fire as stands.
Hey, I'm getting real JoJo vibes here.
Is that a JoJo reference?
Personal
alright.
reference.
So moving on, the next arc is.
Are we gonna go over the Stain fight? I thought it was a really good fight.
Oh yeah, let's go over the same fight. So at the end of the internship era, there's a fight with Stain. I think we talked about him before.
We talked about it a little bit.
Hopefully that made it onto the video and stuff.
We'll find out.
One way to find out.
Yeah. So Stain is the hero killer. Oh no, we already said that. We already said this.
We
the
actually
fight-
we went pretty in depth with this one.
Yeah, the fight was pretty good. We didn't talk about the fight. I don't think.
Not so much the fight. I like the way that the fight came like to a fruition at the very end, where it's like all three of them were like, "Bow."
The setup of the fight is really cool because you see Ingenium rush in and he attacks Stain rather than saving another hero that's been hurt by Stain, and so Stain like stabs him, but then Deku comes in and prioritizes the rescue, and so does Todoroki, and so Stain acknowledges them, and that pisses off Ingenium because he's like, I should have been better, whatever.
Yeah.
And so it was fun seeing that. Also, just it's like the first time the kids have fought someone with like no adult help, right? And they weren't fighting to win; they were fighting to survive until backup turned up.
Yeah.
But I think they beat him either way. So
Like I think the one really good thing about the show is that it has a very well defined like power system where like even with all three of them, you're really questioning whether or not they're gonna actually like beat Stain or even like hold their ground long enough.
yeah, like
Yeah.
when Todoroki was pushed onto the back foot, I'm like, oh, they lost.
Yeah.
I mean, it's easy to forget they're all also just kids, right?
Yeah.
This guy has had experience. I assume.
He's killed heroes.
Yeah, and these guys are just kids. They're super powerful from what we've seen, but they are just kids in them.
Yeah, they're like the most powerful kids. But
Yeah.
Also,
kids.
isn't Stain the one who put Ingenium's brother in the hospital?
Yes.
Yeah. That's why he was so pissed.
And he was a proper hero, right?
yeah.
he was like a big shot hero too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like the Ingenium suit.
And then from
Yeah,
are we going to talk about Stain more? Or should we go to the next one?
We can move on.
Yeah. From
the
after the internships is next.
wait,
There's-
does he die? I can't remember if he
Stain,
died.
no, they take him into custody.
Okay, there's still like a cult of Stain that sort of is there in the background.
Mm.
I think there's like a quick thing between the internship and Stain fight in the forest part. I feel like there is because I remember there being
I
them
can
being. I think it was just like a general final exam, like a written test, and everybody was like studying. It was kind of cute
Oh, okay.
because they all pulled up to one of their houses, Momo's house,
Oh,
and they're
yeah.
like,
Oh,
"Oh,
the-
study time."
She's super rich.
She's super rich. I
Yeah.
thought it was really adorable. Either ways, there's a lot of points in this show, especially in the downtime, where they flesh out the characters and their relationships, and it's like really cute. And maybe we'll talk about it later. I don't know. I really like the dynamic the whole classroom has. They're like homies as a
Yeah.
whole classroom. It's like
Mostly.
it's for I will say the classroom dynamic wise, it's the most realistic like classroom I've seen. Because I don't know about you guys, I didn't have a huge bullying problem in my school growing up.
Neither did
and
I.
even
What do
high
you mean?
school.
Bakugo's a maniac.
Yeah, but everyone's like, yeah, he's their resident jackass. Like, he's a piece of shit.
I don't think it doesn't feel like he bullies. It just feels like he's just
Angry.
That's
It's like, yeah, he's the angry one. The
He's
rest of us
yeah.
are okay. They literally they go out of their way to apologize for Bakugo all the time. They're like, yeah, we're sorry, he's an asshole.
I think. An important thing after the Stain arc, we find out, or is it no? I think one of these arcs, the nurse tells Deku that he can't afford to break his bones anymore because they will not.
That's
grow.
after the tournament arc.
That's the tournament.
That's
Yeah.
the tournament.
So he attacks by hurting himself, and so he has to find a different way to fight, which is built up in the next few arcs.
I think that happens before Stain because he has the movement at Stain.
Yeah, it happens after the tournament before Stain.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
sorry,
he figures out
Sorry.
that
Yeah.
conversation where Gran Torino's warming up like a fish cookie, and Deku's like, "I get it. I didn't get it. I don't know about you guys. I didn't get it."
It was really weird. There's a lot of those moments. I think are probably the weakest point of my hero so far.
No, I actually get it. It's because you either cook the cookie at full power for like 30 seconds or 10 seconds or something, or you cook the cookie at a lower power for
Longer.
longer.
It's not a cookie, by the way.
Whatever,
I
this
thought-
fish thing.
Yeah.
What was it?
Taiyaki.
What is that?
It's those like fish cakes. Like I should say, I think they're like
Is it Naruto the fish cake?
no, it's not like that kind of fish cake.
Oh, okay.
It's like it's dough that they bake and they fill it with something usually,
Oh, is it
or I
savory?
think they would fry it. I think you can have savory and you can have sweet.
Oh, that's cool.
Food review.
Food at home.
Food at home.
That is
Yeah.
where this joke starts.
Yeah. So, anyways, it transitions after the Sane fight into the forest fight, which
Pussycats.
I will say I think is another shonen trademark. Is just having scenes in a forest.
Hey, nothing can beat that start of Shippuden, Kakashi and Naruto leaping through that canyon for what seemed to be a week.
And when Orochimaru first pulls up in the first show.
Yeah, it's
Anyways,
forest is it's okay. They use the
forest
forest
one-
well. They use the
Yeah,
forest
yeah.
well.
I thought there were some really cool bits in it, but overall, it was a little underwhelming. I found.
I think
It
it was
was
just
okay.
I think it was a reintroduction to the League of Villains because we'd only seen the Nomus before and
A bit more. I would say more of an expansion of League of Legends.
Yeah, because we saw Silverfish, we saw Baki, which is I think I like fire powers. I didn't like Todoroki. I don't like Endeavor. I like Baki. It's definitely
Yeah,
one of
he's
my.
pretty
He
cool.
looks like a gross motherfucker.
Yeah.
with his like
burnt
teeth.
skin. No, burnt
the
skin.
fire guy.
I'll
with
pull
the-
up a
with the
photo.
big
I'll pull
mouth.
up a photo. Keep talking. Just
Uh,
move to the plot.
We'll cover for
Talk,
you.
talk.
Yeah, he was.
There's
he,
also
blue
the
fire
there's
guy.
also the Nazi sign. No, no.
I know you're talking about.
He has like a.
You'll see.
He has the metal mouth guy, right?
No, that's Silverfish.
We also get introduced to the guy who can turn things into balls.
The
guy
magician?
who can.
Wait, the magician guy.
Himiko.
His
His
favorite.
other simp. Oh, this yeah, the metal mouth guy.
Oh, there's also one that his teeth become metal.
Hey, there's
Yeah.
a lot of this kind of stuff that happens.
Yeah, I do sim for Himiko. I will say that.
She drinks the blood of people and becomes them.
Dude, she's okay. She's actually a maniac.
But she's really cute though. She's also got I believe is it
Priorities of this man.
Is it Naruto Fox mode eyes?
Yeah. When she gets pissed
A little bit.
or
Yeah,
something like that.
that's pretty. It was.
I will say, I think one thing that the show really does well, and it continues to do well, obviously in the forest scene, is that it keeps pairing up the like Deku with not just the same set of people. You do often get like it's like some of the main supporting cast. You have like
Yeah.
Bakugo, Todoroki, Uraraka,
We also
a
see
little
some,
bit of Mineta.
we have
and I
a-
think Sue also it tends to
Yeah.
be like the go-tos.
We have Class
But
B
they,
as
they
well.
do like Class B like pitches in quite a bit, but you also get like a lot of pairings with like people you're like, oh wait, so Deku's gonna pair up with the arm tape guy for this one. That's kind of cool. Let's see how that dynamic plays out. They really explore the dynamics that can happen here, and I think that really leads to like really varied fights, as opposed to something like gonna bring it back again to Naruto. There's always one thing we bring it back to.
Naruto, I guess.
Okay, let's start, even Demon Slayer, because we have the fight in the forest where they fighting what they think is the lower 8, the guy, the really buff guy, Inosuke and Tanjiro are fighting him, and you can see there's no like, even if there is cooperation, all they're trying to do is just hit him at the right time together. Whereas in the forest scene, you have a scene where there's the villain who like gasses the whole forest. So yeah, one of the characters can create things out of thin air. So she gives everyone masks and gives them directions on how to get through the forest. And so like there's different ways of approaching a problem, which you see a lot of that in most of the fights. And one of my favorite ones is just the rescue arc, not the rescue exercise arc, which is coming up later. But the Pussycats, we see. This is the first time we see All for One, right? No.
We don't see All for One
We
till,
see
like,
we see Shigaraki, the decay guy.
No, he doesn't.
No, we
come.
see them like right at the beginning, but he doesn't come in this fight.
Yeah,
Okay.
he doesn't turn up. He doesn't what in this fight?
We see Twice, which I think is super cool.
Is
I
that
think
right?
he's super cool.
Yeah, it looks like it's still recording.
Okay, see.
Nice. I think
Sorry,
Twice
but-
is. I think Twice is super cool.
What's his power?
He can create clones.
Oh, but yeah, and the
Yeah.
clones can create clones,
Yeah.
and he goes crazy because of it. That was
Yeah.
a cool little tidbit. I like that.
Yeah, that was nice.
They really didn't need to give us that, but they did. I like that.
That's actually pretty cool. A lot of the powers do have drawbacks. Like
Well, Todoroki's bred to not have the drawbacks.
that's true. Because Endeavor overheats if he uses too much fire, whereas
Mhm.
Todoroki has
Mhm.
half ice, right?
Yeah.
But
He
like
cools down too much if he uses too much ice, and he overheats if he uses too much fire.
Yeah.
But
all the
half
other
and half.
powers do have.
What's Bakugo's drawback? I can't remember.
He never reveals it. He says that every.
he has drawbacks. I
'Cause,
think
yeah.
his thing is he
He runs out of dehydration.
probably
That's
something like
that's
that.
He also I know
His drawback is hubris for one.
That's not direct like
It's not directly related to this thing, but like as a character, his hubris.
the what was I gonna say? I don't want to pull too much from the current season, but he does say it's like a throwaway line. He's like, just when he's about to start fighting, he says, "Oh, I'm glad I warmed up. It's winter," or something like that, because it's harder to sweat during the winter, and he gets his explosions from sweat.
Oh, also he can like his explosions do have like an upper limit to how big he can make them. Because if he does like the super powerful like explosion, it like damages his arms.
Yeah, wait. This arc before the villains attack, we have a nice training montage. Some of them are so funny because what is it? There's cool ones like Todoroki's in a barrel and he's like instantly freezing it and then instantly boiling it, and then there's Cero on the top of a mountain just shooting tape out of his elbows to increase how much tape he can make.
Yeah,
this Bakugo just keeps making explosions above his head, right?
Yeah. That's the one. And then the guy who's like with the shadow board is just sitting in a dark cave.
Some really good moments in this arc.
This arc, I think, there's not a lot of arcs where they raise the hype level to be better than the previous arc. So like the Stain fight didn't really have a moment that was better than the sports festival, but the Deku versus the muscle guy. That was a good fight.
Yeah, 1,000,000%.
Yeah. I thought that was a good fight.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about that?
I'm kind of indifferent to that fight, if I'm being honest.
I remember watching that weekly, and I was like, "This is epic."
I guess it might be more entertaining to watch that weekly, but I definitely like it. Sort of like the fact that he was like, "Oh, I just gotta do more." 1,000,000% just kind of felt really much like that first.
I think they
first arc in
clarified.
Naruto Shippuden.
I think they clarified that the 1,000,000% was him just like exaggerating it. It wasn't actually like scaled up that way.
Yeah, but I mean,
that
like,
makes sense because he'd be dead. Or something.
Yeah.
You really get to see like Deku's character as being like the protagonist who like doesn't give up in that arc. I think probably the most because he literally like destroys almost his entire body, and then he like still goes along to try and like rescue Bakugo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Granted, he gets carried, but
Bakugo gets kidnapped at the end of
Bakugo
gets kidnapped at the end of this arc.
Yeah.
Which then begins.
Which gives us like the nice moments of silence away from Bakugo. I'm sorry, internet.
Actually,
I don't like Bakugo.
It's really cool though because up until that point the way they portrayed or the way the show portrayed Bakugo was kind of like, oh, he could be a villain because he's
like
always
a Sasuke
prone
moment.
to always prone to outbursts. He doesn't seem like he cares about helping people. He cares about being stronger than Deku or it's the strongest in general. And then it's at the moment where he gets captured where people start to in the show go, oh, he's gonna be a villain.
They're like, oh, he's too much of a loose cannon. He's gonna they're gonna indoctrinate him.
And I think it was a really good subversion that it was never not a single thought on Bakugo's mind.
He was always like, man, fuck these guys.
Yeah, exactly.
They think they can.
They put him in a perfect Sasuke position, and man wasn't Sasuke.
Man's was Naruto.
I think they needed to do that. Otherwise, it would have just been like, oh, he's just angstier Sasuke.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember how they started the rescue operation? It was the funniest shit.
Which side of it?
Oh, the pizza thing.
The pizza thing.
Okay, yeah.
Hey, pizza here.
They opened it and it's just heroes. Oh my god.
That's always a 10 out of 10 gag.
I think so just
Who's that?
It's pizza. I don't know why I'm doing this gag right now.
That's okay. We'll
put
put it on the
green screen in the pizza. I think basically the villains capture Bakugo. They take him to their hideout and they're like, "Join us," and he's like, "No." And then the heroes show up. They almost rescue Bakugo, and then the portal guy activates his quirk. Or no, a one for all at a different location activates his quirk and swaps a bunch of Nomus. All for one, sorry. And this is the first introduction we see to All for One. And can I just say, his theme kind of hits. The orchestral piece that plays when
can't really remember.
But you can put it in post if you want.
Most of the music in this is pretty straightforward in my opinion. It's just like trap beats.
You Say Run, dude, that is such a good gym track. I've done so many workouts with that music. But All for One, this is our first. I think, like we see him not as a recollection of other people's stories, and so that's really cool. And then
I think one thing that I have a problem with him is they built him up to be this like insane god, but he felt like just a strong villain. Like, you know what I mean? He didn't feel like an untouchable thing.
Granted, I think part of that is because like he still ends up getting his ass, like he still gets beaten by All Might.
Yeah.
But we were also like introduced to All Might at like a fraction of his power.
Yeah.
And so I feel like that kind of like lends to that.
There's-
Oh yeah, he did lose to All Might in a fight that's been alluded to previously.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There's three things I gotta say about All for One, which like maybe this is me fanboying for the show because I feel like I like it the most out of everyone here. Probably, yeah. My hero. I think
Maybe?
I
I've really enjoyed it so far. I mean, I should also add everything that I'm saying good about the show. I'm saying to him. I can't say it to him. Legally, I'm required to tell him that the show is trash for reasons beyond the podcast.
My lawyers.
I hate the show. The show's great.
So I'll start with my weakest defense, which is makes him sound like a little bit like Palpatine, which is like, oh no, he knows what he's doing. He got captured for a reason, which is like that's bullshit. I admit
To
it.
be fair, it
That's
does feel like
it's usually bullshit.
No, but
Yeah.
it did feel like he knew what he was doing.
No,
'Cause
because-
he's like having banter in the prison afterwards.
Yeah, no, because what happens is like the reveal that his successor is All Might's predecessor's like grandchild, and that sort of like shifting from the old guard, which is All Might and All for One, to the new guard, which is Shigaraki and Deku, and also we have that moment where All Might, like, what is it? So a lot of people, the problem with their fight is that if you have almost an infinite amount of quirks, why would you go for Big Punch, right? And my defense there is that All Might's power is that he can punch. No matter what, he can show up, punch the bad guy, save the day. And so I think he was trying to send a statement with like, I cannot punch you. And that led to one of the coolest moments where All Might does what Deku does. He breaks his hand on purpose and then strengthens that back up to win the fight, which I think was a cool moment. That's like an endearing moment to like, well, I'm going out. This is what my like prodigy does. Take a note out of his book.
Yeah, it's
and
like
pass it on to
it's
him.
like learning from the new group,
Yeah.
the new school,
Mhm.
which I think is always like a nice little thing. Usually, don't often see that. I think it's nice.
But
Yeah.
forget the fight. My favorite moment was the rescue mission. That was
The
so
good
cool.
rescue mission, Deku's big brain.
Yeah.
I don't know how you thought of that.
He had to like think about personality as well.
Mm-hmm.
That was-
He had to be like, okay, so Bakugo's a piece of shit who will never listen to anything I say. So Kishimaru, you tell him to do things. Talking about Kirishima?
Yeah.
Is that
Name is
I
right
always
there.
I always mix up his name before we started recording this. I was like Karashimi.
I've written it down right here.
Oh, it's there. Kirishima.
I
Yeah.
really should have written down everyone's name.
Did I
All
say
their photos.
Kirishima?
I
I don't remember.
literally wrote blood
You,
God.
you could check in post.
I think it's Himiko, but yeah.
And so
Yeah, anyway.
Deku, they basically in this world you can't use your powers to in a fight without a license. If
Like
you
kind of like Harry Potter.
yes, yeah, actually, pretty much like Harry Potter.
Yeah.
And so they have to rescue Bakugo without getting into a fight or without distracting All for One and All for One who are fighting each other.
Mhm.
And so Deku comes up with a plan, uses everyone's powers, some great animation, and a great moment. And even after they literally rescue Bakugo, and Ingenu was like, "Yo, wait for my mark so that we can land properly." And Bakugo was like, "Shut up! You wait for my mark." And I was like, maybe now is not a good time to be a dick. They could just drop you.
But it's moments like that where it makes me like, okay, I kind of like Bakugo. 'Cause it's really funny.
Yeah.
But like, Bakugo is like just like a wild card character for me that I just cannot enjoy thoroughly for the most part. He's either like overly aggressive where it's really funny, or he's overly aggressive where it's just like, man, shut the fuck up.
If you like that one moment, there's an episode coming up in the current arc where it's just him doing that for a whole episode, and I think that is one of my favorite episodes. That isn't like
Pretty good, yeah.
yeah, that isn't like a fight from like a continuing fight or whatever.
I think we're more or less we're finally caught up on the plot and we're near the
Yeah.
end of our time.
Well, yeah, that's the plot.
That's the plot.
We still have a little bit more
we're-
time.
We've kind of discussed everything else, sort of, that we wanted to touch on.
Let's-
I didn't get to say the one thing I wanted to say, which is Kirishima is like the best character.
Red Riot.
In my opinion, Red Riot is the best character because he's like he's not too over braggadocious, you know. He's like chilling, and also he somehow has the patience to deal with Bakugo, and also he's just like the most like boys support boys. He's like, man, Deku,
Yeah.
that's the homie. I don't care if he's a little off, weird, kind of the fact that he only just got his quirk. That's the homie, and I like that about him.
Also, he has one.
He's
of
the most like cool-headed character.
yeah, one of the better costumes in the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna bring up. I don't like most of the costumes. Most of the costumes are like they're dog shit. Like All Might's is I get where the inspiration comes for All Might's. It's like a clear Superman, Captain
Yeah.
America thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a boring costume though. And then like Deku's costume. What the hell? He looks like a weird rabbit. What's
Maybe
up with
he's
that?
a
I
fan.
know
they
how
call
good.
him out for, to be fair.
I know they constantly call him out for it, and I appreciate that.
He gets rid of the hood in this costume.
but just
is
calling
fine.
him out for it isn't good enough. You know,
You have to
it's
bully
like,
him for it.
It's like
Put
it's
him
like
down.
it's like if Cruella in the movie they're like, man, this is kind of like the Joker, and they just never acknowledge it later on.
Happy to remember Eric.
That's the same thing.
It was such a shitty fan service moment.
Happened to my gal pal Erica.
When Uraraka is like, oh, they ordered my thing too tight. And I was just like, why did you have to do this?
There's so
You
much.
could've just had a normal.
Granted, Todoroki's character is literally just female fan service,
This is the whole show.
but
I
I mean, like,
guess.
cause like when I say female fan service, I mean like fan service for the females, and then like
No, I
Okay,
I thought you meant like female people giving fan service. No, I know what you meant.
okay, I was confused by that one comment, and then but there is so much more skewed towards like
It always
the
is.
male demographic.
Honestly,
It is shonen, which makes sense.
I don't fault the show for having it. Every show has been. Maybe it's something we like.
You just gotta
it's
get
a
used to it
norm.
watching a lot of like anime.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more okay here. No, I'm not saying that because you should sexualize minors, but because there's cases where it's justified. Like,
Wait, I'm not saying it because you know.
I'm talking about the R-rated hero. What's her name? Midnight. Where
She has
like,
a really good line where she's just like, it's not like I'm not sexualizing myself. It's you guys. I'm doing what's most practical for me. You guys are sexualizing that.
yeah.
But she gets immediately undercut, which I think was really annoying.
And
Yeah.
there's also not this internship, but a later internship arc where they talk about like you have to have a little bit more personality in your costume, and you have to play up like your kawaii factor or whatever, because you, as a hero, you're a brand, and it's definitely written like shit. So, like it feels like he just it's put there to be like, yeah, now we can loot them. But
There's parts of it where I'm like, okay, you know what? It's kind of messed up, but the world they live in is kind of messed up. But there's other parts of it where it's literally just like
fan service.
fan service. Like there's like a scene where like Minata, the bald hair dude, he's like, ooh,
Grape
I'm gonna
juice.
look into this hole in the wall into the girls' like locker room, and they just blatantly show the girls like just kind of topless.
They do.
Not like not like explicitly, but like
And he's like, which episode?
with all the like shirts off and stuff like that. I'm like, that's uncomfortable. I don't want to see that.
I actually had that moment with Persona as well, where they did the beach episode, and I was like, and then Futaba's like a 12-year-old, and they're like, check out my bikini, and I was like, I don't want to watch this.
Yeah, I guess. But that one
Or-
feels a bit. It's like when your younger sister wears outwear clothes for the first time. You know?
I guess I didn't see
I
Futaba as
really
the
phrased that
sister.
wrong. but I mean,
I
like,
don't have a younger sister.
it's like someone who won't wear
Like, it's a family
anything
member.
else but jackets and
Oh,
jeans,
okay.
wearing shorts and a shirt for the first time.
So you.
Yeah, basically. Like the first time my parents took a picture of me. I always wore pants and a long sleeve shirt. And then one summer, like, we're going to the beach. And I was like, okay, I'll put on my jeans. And my mom said, no, wear your swimming shorts to the beach. And I was like, what? And then
Scandalous.
I wore, shorts. And they were like, oh my God.
To be fair, we had a
Look, you
moment
have
where
legs.
Annie put like, it was snowing outside. He took a photo, put it on his story. We all thought he'd been hacked. We all thought
He
he'd been
never
hacked.
uses his Snapchat story.
Side tangent. Anyhow, don't sexualize minors. This show has like roundabout ways of being like, no, we need it. Like, what is it? Yayo Rozo's costume. She's like, no, I need all my skin to show because
Yeah.
it's where I create everything.
Yeah.
But I like just on good costume. I like Oraraka's costume. I like
It's okay. I don't like the
She's in a
boots.
helmet, right?
yeah.
I don't like the boots.
The boots.
I don't look at women's feet. I'm not into feet. Sorry. Nice work, Hasan.
Damn.
I like earphone jack.
Yes.
That's a good costume.
She's got
It's
speakers
Speakers on her feet, right?
and
Yeah,
her arms.
she's got a good costume.
I like her
Electric
character
Dude's
quite a lot.
costume is kind of basic, but it's all right.
Who's?
He's
Electric Dude,
Yeah.
Kaminari.
Yeah. He's got the tracer that rounds.
I'm
It's
a
like
tracer.
to be fair, like all the hero costumes like pale in comparison because you see a different school later on and they just have such a nice school uniform.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, this is just so much better. Just use that. But yeah,
what do you think
so
of Blood Girl?
okay, listen, it's a cool power. But I always thought it was a little bit impractical, right? Because
You have
A
to
lot of the blood ones are a little impractical, but then end up
Stains make sense because he's a slashy boy.
Oh, I think he became a slashy boy because he had the power.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like, cause she has to drink a large amount of blood. Stain just has to taste a little bit. She has to drink
Yeah.
a pint for a
To
day.
be
right?
fair, she has to do a lot more. because like him, like Stain's just like, oh, I'm gonna freeze you real quick,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then she's like, I'm gonna become you.
You're gonna what me? Be what?
She's an imposter.
Dun, 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 dun.
I think she's definitely hasn't started her own personal arc. I feel like we're gonna see a lot more of her later, so I'm not gonna say anything about that.
Good.
I think we're gonna get a similar, like maybe like half an episode that's similar to what's the guy's name?
Twice.
Twice.
No, I like
Not
Twice.
BTS.
I like.
All right.
Inku?
We've touched on this before, but what would you say is your favorite character?
Oh, Sun Eater for sure. Sun Eater. He's not.
The
Can we,
Sun
does it restrict it to what we've seen so far?
Let's say
Yeah.
what we've seen so far.
Yeah.
Okay, and Sun Eater comes later then.
So no Lemillion.
No head.
No Lemillion, no Sun Eater, no gentle criminal.
Sorry, what?
Have you not met him yet?
You'll be there. You get.
Oh,
that.
you haven't
Okay.
met him yet. Never mind.
Okay.
Um,
I haven't met Sun Eater.
It's all the way just.
Oh
up
no, I
un-
met Sun Eater. Never mind.
up until the fight with
Into the rescue.
yeah.
I think
Rescue mission.
The rescue, the actual rescue, not the rescue place.
Yeah.
who's the guy that's basically the first Hokage?
The wood dude.
Yeah, the wood dude. I think
oh,
he's
yeah,
cool.
the wood dude.
Kamui Woods.
Yeah,
Kamui
Kamui
Woods,
Wood.
yeah, yeah.
I think he's cool.
He's kind of
Pretty
cool.
cool, yeah.
I think
uh,
my favorite character easily, I've already mentioned it, is Kirishima,
Kirishima.
Oh, okay.
because he's just
favorite.
the boy.
He is
That's
a
just
boy.
the boy.
Mm,
Although I think probably a close runner-up.
I'm
Who
going
would
with
I put?
Baki. Is his name Baki?
Baki.
Is his name Baki?
Dabby.
Dabi.
Dabi.
Not
None of the villains have really stood out for me personally, like in a way that I'm like, oh, I really like this villain yet.
Mm.
So it's mostly Aizawa.
Oh yeah, of course. Of course.
Aizawa. He's great.
Since you took Aizawa, I'm gonna say my favorite character is Blood Girl.
You can do that as well. We
No,
can have this.
Not allowed.
I
Only
put two.
one.
I put two characters out there.
Yeah, he did say.
I thought you haven't said Sue.
I have three favorite characters then.
Who's your three favorite?
it's those three.
Aizawa, Sue, and
Himiko.
Himiko.
Yeah.
We've definitely seen an overabundance of the good guys in the first 50 episodes. We have a lot of good villains coming
Which
up.
makes sense.
Yeah, we have a
in
lot of good
fairness.
villains coming up in the next one.
Yeah.
And a lot of good heroes, to be fair.
Mhm.
But okay, speaking of heroes and villains, you guys have a favorite power or least favorite power? Are we gonna shit on best
Least
genius?
favorite power. Best genius. He's got drip.
He's
That's his power. I know he has like the weird like spindly fiber things with his
Yeah.
denim. His power is
Is he
drip.
dead?
I don't give a shit. His quirk is drip.
He is nothing but drip.
He is
Yeah.
literally just drip.
Yeah.
Drip?
I
Um,
think he's okay.
he's
He's
okay,
in the
okay.
hospital. Or
I
something.
think my least favorite power. Do we see her
But he
yet?
was.
No, I don't think
Nope,
we see her
you
yet.
don't see her yet.
Damn it! I was gonna say the comedy girl, but
Smile, Miss
I don't,
Smile.
I don't like her. But we don't see her yet until after the kidnapping. My favorite one.
That's a
Man,
hard one. It is
that's
a
kinda
hard.
hard.
There's a lot.
There are a lot of.
There's
them,
a
right?
lot of really weird ones.
I wish we had more power or water-based powers, because we have
Hmm.
ice. The only water we see is that little kid.
I might
And-
have to just go
You're in
be
Kirishima?
basic and
Oh,
not
no.
Kirishima.
Oh.
I'd be basic and
Todoroki.
be Todoroki. Because I mean, his power is just too powerful.
Who did we
Yeah.
see at
Actually-
Oh, actually, you know what? I think I have a favorite one.
What?
I totally just forgot.
Nice work. Okay.
Okay, it'll,
What-
it'll come back to me.
Yeah,
in a
tell me
second.
why you like Todoroki.
He's just super powerful, and it's a fun.
He's bred
I
to be
know
powerful.
like his like character like stems from the whole thing of just being like, okay, what if we just like, you know how it's either fire power or like ice power? What if we just both?
Half and half.
Right? That's where it comes from, and it's very like clear,
Mm-hmm.
but it's still a fun power. He's still a fun like character to ride around with power wise.
Yeah.
So I think like having that power would be pretty fun, but I don't know if actually
I'll give it to Gyurozu. I like that power.
it's a cool power.
That's a cool power.
It's a lot of remembering. I think you should know exactly how to make the thing,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
I think my favorite power might be Sue.
What about
Sue has
Cementos?
some cool power.
Cementos.
Sue being a oh
Sue?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. None of the teachers have any powers that I think are super. Like,
Cementos.
they don't like really.
Oh no, Razorhead.
Eraserhead's
It's okay,
power only
it's
works
fine.
in that universe.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
What about Present Mike?
No,
Present Mike.
he's just loud.
He's just you.
Jesus Christ.
Yo.
What other
On,
teachers are
on my Discord, right, the voice chat, his is at 200% and yours is like 2%.
This is the
What
mic.
about,
I don't
um,
use this mic anymore for that.
What other teachers? We see
Yeah.
Cementos, Midnight, Gran Torino.
You know, I'm gonna say
Blood-
teleporty thing. Either teleporty thing or Raraka,
Who's teleporting thing?
the villain.
Portal?
Oh,
Yeah.
portal guy.
Oh, he's the guy who is a portal. Oh,
Yeah.
that's pretty cool.
I
That
kinda
is pretty
dig that.
Yeah.
Or Raraka. I feel like being 0G seems kind of cool.
Oh, she throws up whenever she does it herself, right? Or she
Yeah.
gets really nauseous.
I can handle my nausea pretty well.
Because he hasn't thrown up for a while.
Yeah.
I haven't thrown up since
You were 5 and your
No,
mom
not
took you
5.
to the bathroom. Niagara Falls.
Hey, it's Patreon content only. No, I haven't thrown up since like grade 9.
Damn.
End
Respect.
of grade 9.
Now you're in what, grade 10?
Threw up like 2 weeks ago. No, wait, 3 weeks ago.
All over my kitchen.
Okay, what's easier one? What's the least favorite power?
Okay, okay.
I don't like Daddy Bottom
I'll tell you
Laser.
who's my least favorite power.
Oh.
The guy who make cameras come out of any part of his body.
He's
That's
not
the-
here
he's
yet.
not here yet,
He's not
though.
here yet.
Oh.
That is a
Spoilers.
dumb power. This is a dumb power.
It's
I feel like
it's,
I had an idea for both of these and I completely forgot.
it's a cool power for someone who is a journalist. But
I
we'll
feel
save
like-
that for later.
I
It's
feel
a
like,
power where you can like only be a journalist.
No, I feel like you become a journalist because you have
Yeah,
the
yeah,
power.
yeah.
Not the
Yeah,
other
yeah,
way around.
Least favorite.
What's I like the paper guy. I like the paper guy.
Which paper guy?
The one who does the pizza thing.
What?
You know who does knock knock pizza? He like slips through the door because he can take himself.
I forgot about that.
Oh, I
Nice.
forgot what it's called.
Yeah.
But least favorite power. I feel like there's like because I only look at it from like a combat perspective.
I
but,
want to
like,
say tail, but that's kind of a cop
I'm just gonna say belly button laser.
Oh, but he's so much fun. Okay, as a power,
Yeah,
I might agree.
Because it just makes him sick.
But as a character, I
Straight-
actually really like his character. He's a really fun character.
Sparkle.
Sparkle.
He has a weird mouth, I will say. It's triangular.
Mhm.
You like sweet,
I
and
think
her
he's
mouth is like a
French.
W.
I think he is French.
Get up.
Get up, get up, get up.
Du-du-du-du-du.
Dude, I have... Oh! Okay, you know what? I can't remember what my favorite power is, so I'll think of another one. The ectoplasm guy. The one who
He's
throws
not,
up...
he's not here yet.
He's a teacher. He's pretty-
No, he comes in the final exam arc. Or actually, no, he was there in the rescue mission when they fight all for one. He's the guy who makes clones of himself, right?
Yeah, yeah.
How's that
Oh
bad?
yeah, he was there in the second
Oh,
arc.
he did help them like train after...
After-
the,
yeah.
the-
Okay,
He also
bad,
comes
my
like during what's it?
I like him.
He also
looks
arrives during the right before the sports festival.
cool. Mm-hmm. He's
That's
probably
where he makes
the-
his first debut.
He, I think he's cool. Why do you not like him?
I like him. That's my...
Oh, I thought that you said that was your least favorite.
Oh, no. Least favorite. Least favorite is a
Have
bit
you
hard.
seen Orca yet? No.
Yeah. Oh.
Orca.
No, he's in the provisional exam.
It's a professional.
He like has I think a cameo kind of. He's kind of in
We'll
past.
save him for later.
His tongue was the tie, right?
Oh yeah, you know what I think my least favorite is? The guy who can turn people into magnets.
Did we see him yet?
Yeah. He's in the League of Villains.
Oh yeah, we do. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was really confusing.
He turns women into North Poles and then.
Dude, that was
South
really
Poles.
dumb.
I remember it. I remember what I thought my favorite power was.
What is it?
Hawk.
He's not here yet.
No.
All this time
We
just
should've
to
been
not
grabbing
even
this.
see.
No.
Okay, I think we might have to wrap it up
Yeah.
without Annie's
No.
favorite powers. They all come a little bit later. Maybe we'll come back to it in the. Maybe
We'll-
the
we'll
next,
definitely
'cause
do
We're
a-
doing about 50 episodes. We'll do like, is it 100 yet?
99 was released last Saturday.
We'll do it like in the next little bit or so.
Mhm.
Yeah, save that thought, guys. Hawk and
Ectoplasm. No.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
you.
You know. All right. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you follow our socials in the description. If you aren't, make sure you bully Hasan if he's not streaming. And yeah, see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.
You don't need to clap, man.